I'm Bob Warner. I'm one of 7 members of the Locals Board of Directors. Our board was established 3 years ago as part of the CHCA's effort to become a 501c3 organization. Ellen Badger recently replaced me as the president of our board, but she's on vacation this week and asked me to present a report on what's been happening in the paper. It's been a challenging but eventful year for the local. Larry Hochberger, who was our publisher for nearly 10 years, accepted another job last September and moved to upstate New York just as we were starting to develop a strategic plan to deal with continuing weakness in our finances. In conjunction with the CHCA leadership, we established a small search committee to find a new publisher, and we were very fortunate to hire John, who had spent roughly 20 years with Lancaster newspapers, which is by far, in fact, perhaps the only successful newspaper publisher now in central Pennsylvania. John took over last October, and he's already made important changes at the newspaper, a redesign to give the paper a more modern look, creating a new section to focus on homes and real estate, hiring another experienced newspaper person, Leisha Schaefer, as our circulation and marketing manager. Leisha is sitting next to John. And overall, we think that John has instilled the newspaper's entire staff with a more positive, forward-looking approach. Over the next 12 to 18 months, you're going to see a big push for expanded circulation and advertising revenue. We are close to establishing a line of credit to support those efforts. It's important that we succeed. Besides its most obvious role in informing the community about what's happening in Chestnut Hill and nearby neighborhoods, the newspaper is also one of the community association's most significant assets. We provide free advertising and publicity for all CHCA activities, discounted subscriptions for all the CHCA members, and an annual cash subsidy, now $10,000 a year. It's difficult to imagine a community without the local appearing every week. Editor Pete Mazzacaro continues to lead our small editorial staff, which includes 3 full-time writers and a small group of freelance contributors. We rely on additional content from other local civic organizations, including Friends of the Wissahickon, the Chestnut Hill Conservancy, the Woodmere Museum, Friends of the Chestnut Hill Library, and other groups. We won 2 awards this year from the Pennsylvania News Association for Sue Ann Ryback's coverage of recovery efforts by victims of childhood sexual abuse, and Elizabeth Cody's coverage of Frank Rizzo's house going up for sale. I also wanted to mention several new writers who've been contributing their work without pay. George McNeely, who is doing a fascinating column that combines local history with architecture and other aspects of our physical community. He wrote just this week a very interesting story about the history of ice and ice houses in Chestnut Hill. Category contributing to the paper include Karen Bojar, who's provided some insightful reporting on local politics at the ward level, and Patricia Coe's columns on interior design, and occasional cartoons from Joe Duretsky, who was city solicitor under Mayor Ed Rundell, but has since turned to journalism. I think all these volunteers speak to their affection for both the community and the newspaper. I don't want to hold up the formal program here, but I will hang around afterwards if anyone has any questions or concerns that they'd like like to address about the paper. Thank you.